How's it going? Happy Monday. Happy Monday to
We're really
you.
chuffed to repulsion.
Mystic hosts the show at noon. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm doing there. But how's everybody doing? It's good to see everybody. Doing the thing. Doing the thing. My name's Grindhead Jim, as I'm sure you know by now. Some call
We're
me
really chuffed to
Mom.
repulsion.
Staunch ability with the host. Thanks, buddy. Mama Jim. Mama Jim. Start your ability with the host now. All right, it's cool. Fine. I just do it to see Godzilla. I mean, it's through the whole damn intro, and he's right at the bottom here. I mean, granted, if that's how I gotta bribe you to the host, I'm cool with that. I mean, that's fine. I'll even replay it for you if you want to see it again. Look at this. Watch this.
We're really chuffed to repulsion. We're chuffed. As a band.
Now you see him twice. Stash ability with the twice. But yeah, I get that. I mean, that's why Grindzilla exists. It's so I can see more kaiju. That's it. That's the entire reason I've centered everything around the big green guys, because I like the big green guy. See? I don't know if I would say that in a room full of people, but I would say it to a chat room full of people. It's kind of what we're talking about today. The fact that oftentimes we're do not have a Grindzuki, but that's a good idea. A minion. We don't really have one yet. Although that, because the thing is, we kind of have like the emotes are kind of have them being kind of cute. But it's an idea, because I don't really dig on the Hanna-Barbera too much. I'm more of a traditional Godzilla fan. But hey, Troy, what's going on? And the bitty drizzle, right? Today, guys, we're kind of talking about the fact that in many ways it is easier to admit things or speak freely about yourself to people online than it is to get cheered by mistake. Thanks for the 5. Appreciate it with the bit cocky. Just a bit cocky about the bit cocky. It's fine. But there are things you would say on Twitch or on Twitter or even over a Discord chat that you might never say to someone that you met or that you are in a room with. And it doesn't even have much to do with anonymity. It doesn't. I don't think it does, because people know who you are or whatever. That's kind of what I'm wanting to kind of talk about today, loosely. It's not like a fully formed, formal topic, but it's something I want to kind of explore, if you will. You know, for example, like, think about all the conversations that we have here on the show, right? They are conversations one does not normally have in polite IRL conversation. Doesn't happen. You know, Stotch is like, I want floppy foam feet. I'm like, I want floppy foam feet too. I want a fucking Godzilla outfit. Absolutely. Now, does that make me part of like the furry thing? No, it doesn't, because I'm not, like, I don't want to live in the thing, but I would like to feel like Godzilla. That's always been a thing for me. Hello, Options. How are you doing? But that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't just meet somebody at a grocery store, have a polite conversation about whatever, and be like, you know what I want? What's that? I want floppy foam feet. I want to dress up like Godzilla. The person's like, okay. You know, you're not necessarily going to have that. That's not going to happen. You wouldn't just volunteer that shit. And Bacon's one of the rare ones where he said, you know me, I'm not scared to say what I need to your beautiful face. That's 100% true. Bacon is just like, I want foam feet, you know. Like, he would just be like, foam feet, you know. Staunch says, I do say some random stuff to people, but I enjoy awkwardness. That's fair. I mean, I could talk to anybody about just about anything. Options. You might want to consider yours. Coming in here, I mean, you see all them badges stacked up next to her name. Like, she was here first. She was here first. So, I'm not saying you're gonna get wrecked, but you might get wrecked. Because she is tough as nails. Nails. Why is the camera like this? Am I too? I gotta fix this now. Damn it. That's weird. Oh, duh. Where's the? Oh, here it is. See, this is what I get for trying to be super awesome. All right, that's a little better. That's a bit better, isn't it? Let's go over there. That should be good. All right. So don't at me. There you go. Yeah, they came out with it's what they call a release candidate version of OBS, meaning they're 99% sure that this is a full release, and they're having people test it. There's a ton of new features in it, and it just looks weird. I just keep looking over it. I'm like, that doesn't look right. But there's more shit in it. It's cool. Because if I was in a bad mood, maybe, but I'm feeling good right now. There you go. There you go. There you go. But they have a bunch of stuff. They made things more modular. Like, you can move stuff around if you want to. Like, now you can actually link into Twitch. Like, you have your account like you would with any other app. You have it authorized, and you don't have to use stream keys anymore. And I've got a little chat window in there. I've got the stream information in there. I got some stats in there, and I got the actual stats, the technical stats for the stream itself, which is nice to know. And everything looks good. Pretty nice. They changed the Invenc encoder, which supposedly is a much better option. And I found out right when I started the stream that all of the rescaling has to be done on the front end, and you have to choose that encoder. It's weird. I don't fully understand it, but it appears to be working, and appears to be working well. So I'm pretty stoked. So Music says, I don't stream often enough to keep up the shit. Well, that's the thing. Like, you don't have to stream often to keep. You can just read. You don't have to, like. You just read. You just go into their OBS when they make an announcement. You go, oh. You know. But again, I'm also that technical guy that wants to know all this stuff and wants to make sure that it's going just right and all this shit. So what's interesting to me, though, is that this version that they're putting out is kind of it presents a lot of the conveniences that SLOBS does, Streamlabs OBS does. And so you get to keep all the cool shit of OBS Studio. You also get some of the things that you were missing from Slobs. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Afro Duckling, what's going on? You are a duckling that has an afro, and you're getting a shout out because reason. Because I just love the damn Afro Duckling. Just love it so much. Yes, they have vocal chat. I can show you if you like. Let me go over here. And we'll do properties. We'll go with that one. No, this one. There we go. There you go. So you can see that we've got the chat there. And I just have it arranged just so. So yeah, that's something that they have now. That's a thing. It's pretty neat. I dig it. I think they did a good job. I think they did a good job. Afro says, thank you, love. How are you in chat? I think we're all doing great. We're just starting up. Yeah, it's pretty colorful. But you don't have to have it that way. Like, you can make it whatever you want. Like mine, I have things set a certain way, so I can like look and know what's going on. You know, and those it isn't where it's stuck. Like that's where I happened to put it. You know, like I could have probably taken the actual stats part and put it up by my preview, and then put the Twitch chat down on that big area, which I probably should do. But the problem is then I want to move things. It's one of these things where there's physical limitations to what I want to be able to accomplish, and it's almost too much information because my mic stand covers a lot of my view. So putting too much information there makes you want to move the mic to be able to see it. So I almost am going to have to change the way I do some things, but ultimately this mic arm gets in the way in terms of my ability to see stuff. And I've only had so much luck getting the mic in different places and stuff, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing. You know, it's weird. Like I have 4 monitors, but no matter where I put my mic, it's fucking something up. You know, and I originally was going to try and do the old school, like hang it over my head kind of thing. I don't like the sound I get out of it when I do that. I prefer it being right here, getting all in your face and sounding really good. You know, like that's more important to me than, can I see the frame rate in real time? So, you know, it's honestly like I would almost have more benefit running my left monitor vertical so that I would have more real estate below, which I never thought I'd say out loud. Like I never thought I'd say that. Doesn't make any sense to me at all, but it is something that would probably work for me. But then I'd have to move the light and this and that. You know, and that's the thing. I would never be having this conversation in real life with someone unless they were like an enthusiast, right? And I realize that a lot of you guys in here are creators, a lot of you aren't. And you're just like, that's Jim. He talks about his stupid monitors, you know? And I get that. And that's fine. But that's the thing. Like, when you're speaking online, there's this freedom, right? There's a freedom that you can kind of say whatever's on your mind, and someone will probably relate to it on some level. And that's what I love about it. You know, I don't really hide behind a persona or anything. What you see is what you get with me, and I just kind of say what's on my mind. Sometimes for positive, sometimes for negative, but that's just how it is. Do you guys find it similar? And mic stands are evil. I've seen them attack people. I have too. Especially the ones with the big fat bottoms on them. Fat bottom mic stands. They'll crush your fucking skull. Literally. They're not to be trifled with. Not to be trifled with. They're crazy. Yep. The circle based ones, the old Radio Shack ones. Man, I'll fuck you up. Yeah, they are lead. It's lead. Because they want to be able to make sure it's safe. You know, and you get these ones that have like the tripod bottoms. I'm like, nah, give me a big fat base on it. You know, and then it'll stay. It stays. Right? So, but you know, when we're speaking to each other online, there seems to be less concern for what the other party's going to think. Generally. Okay, and again, that's a generalization. Some people that are introverted or shy in real life, in person, are just the same online or vice versa, right? They might be more so online, like some people are. But yet I would argue that probably some of those people would still say things online they would never say in real life. You know?
All praise be to Grindzilla. Welcome to the Disciples. All praise be to
Resub.
Welcome to the Disciples.
Jill with that 13 months. 13-month disciple. 13! It's awesome. Thank you. You can at me. But only you. Stotch says, I remember watching my buddy lunge to get back to a mic in time, and he accidentally stepped on the bass, and the mic just beat his grill in. Ugh. Ugh. You know, like it's like getting hit with like a chrome deck. Oh yeah. Well. But you know, it's an interesting thought because some of you may not remember a time where there was not an internet. Some of you might not remember that, at least not remember it well. I remember that vividly. There only was IRL and over the phone. And there were things that you could say over the phone that maybe you wouldn't have the courage to say in person. This is similar to that. There were, and you know, back in the day, and Jill backed me up on this. If you wanted to say something to somebody, but you couldn't muster the courage, you wrote them a note. And you handed them the note, or you had someone else hand them the note. It's like an email server kind of thing. And a lot of times that happened. Brucifer's like, what the fuck is the internet? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever know, man. I don't know if I'll ever know. But I do know that Brucifer is a lovely man. You should follow him. All right. So that's a huge quality of life thing for me. Having chat inside OBS, being able to use the @ command to make shoutouts super fast. Pretty good. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I got my Powerade and my vape and my crew. I'm good, man. Can't really complain. You know? Oh, you're welcome for the shout out, man. Thanks for being Brucifer, man. That's why you got shouted out. You're like this super beard man. Man, I have my own beard. And I love it so much. I can, though. I can. I actually can. I can even for Brucifer. I can. I have the ability to even with Brucifer. So, yes, I am on the OBS Release 23 candidate. I said that out of order, but yes, I am. I found out something interesting. The new NVENC encoder makes it so you can't do the rescale in the output settings. You can only do rescaling on the main video settings, which was confusing. But once I figured that out, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And it's good. Like, right now I have Hitman running in the background, and I have OBS going, and the CPU usage is pretty good. Yeah. So the new NVENC's pretty cool. Like, it seems to be pretty... Like, usually I'd be hovering around... Well, let's just take a look at the usage, shall we? Right now my usage is at 51%. And with Hitman 2, I'll be usually hovering closer to 80. So let's just pull up the game, okay? And see... Let's see how it works. Because I want to show you. I figure I'll show you, right? So I'm just going to show you real briefly what this looks like, okay? So, whatever. All right, cool. So we're running the game at 60 frames per second, okay? Which is what I normally run.
At the location.
And I'm running
No hostile presence.
OBS at 30 frames, and I'm scaling to 720.
Our intel indicates
My
that she
CPU's
had
hanging
planned
around
the
60%.
most likely
Normally,
planning the malicious strike.
we'd be hovering closer to 80 or 90. There's a significant difference.
Not yet.
Significant difference.
She's
Now, what I want to know is if I can change the frame rate. No, not that. Can I change the frame rate? I don't think I can. I can't. But there's enough overhead that I would consider changing the frame rate to 60. And I bet it would work just fine. But like 65%?
no doubt high on our client's list.
You know what I
For now,
mean?
it's
You know, going from
information
1080p to 720?
infiltrate the house.
30?
Get us a lead on the shadow client.
And it is
This
smoother.
B&E 47.
Like, look at that.
On my way.
Like, that's not messing around. Look at that. Like, it's capturing it really, really well, in my opinion. Like, it overall is really good. So yeah, for a 2 PC setup, like this will, I'm not gonna sit here and say it's gonna eliminate 2 PC setups, but it will eliminate the urgency for a 2 PC setup because many games will run just fine. I don't know how this is gonna go for like a Division 2 or Division, which is super trolly on your thing. I don't know how well this is gonna work for, say, let me see this. A little bit. There we go. Let me make sure this works right. Am I off center? That's because I am off center. Okay, the height is good. Let me check my face cam. I see I fucked it up. Yeah, I knew I'd fucked it up. I knew I'd do that. Move myself over here. There we go. That should be good. Don't at me. All right, cool. It'll work. So I actually bumped my camera the other day. So I knew I'd have to move some shit around and whatever. But ultimately, like, I feel... I mean, right now the game's running in the background, technically. And I'm still at, like, 55, 59% CPU usage. The GPU usage is, like, 66, which is about right. Just pause right now. But I feel like it's a lot better than it was going to be. So, but it's good. It's good. Like the amount of CPU usage it has is just like... So, if for those people that have a 2 PC setup or want to get one, you could buy a fucking prefab $500 PC and use it for your streaming PC. Like, the cost went down like a lot. And Bruce says, also the RTX cards on the OBS NVENC encoding is supposed to be comparable to Solid X 2X4. Yeah. And the NVENC, like, right there looked great. Like, a lot of times you'd see it, like, stuttering and stuff. And they have stats you can see now, which you couldn't see before. So it shows you frames missed due to rendering lag and skipped frames due to encoding lag. There's a total of 16 each on a 30 frame per second stream that's been running for a half hour. That's insane. That is insane. And total drop frames due to network was like 26. It's way more efficient than it used to be, like insanely. Gamer Dad says, so something I would never tell anyone in real life, but okay sharing online is my hatred for Jim. Oh, sorry, wrong stream. Ignore me. Ignore me! Gamer Dad trying to come in here with Grandpa dad joke. Tempted to get the RC version. It's pretty stable. I haven't seen any problems with it. I'm doing good. Well, here's the thing, Bruce. You can, as you know, you can export all of your settings, save them, and you can always uninstall and reinstall the other thing, right? But this version, and this is a small quality of life thing. In version 22, if you did full screen projectors, they broke it to where they would always be on top. And I'll use those for when I'm playing on console. And so I've been using windowed projectors that I make borderless with software, which I hate having to do that. 23, they fixed that. So in 23, they fixed it. So now you can go full screen projector, and I'm like, and I don't know what it is, but the full screen projectors seem to run a lot smoother than the windowed ones for whatever reason with capture, like less lag and shit. Yeah, they fixed it. They fixed it to where you can bring up a browser window and put it right over top. Oh yeah, fixed it. They told me they were fixing it in the next version. They just couldn't release and they had a nightly build that was one of the first fixes they had when they started doing nightly builds after 22. And I tried the nightly build. I didn't like it. It was unstable. I went back to the regular version of 22 and just waited until this came out. Just the fact, though, that they can, that you now can embed Twitch stuff in there and the new NVENC encoder, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, hey, OBS Jim's doing some shit, man. Him and his whole crew. But this new OBS, shit. The only thing you're not getting out of this, well, in terms of feature set, you're not getting the bot inside of OBS, which I get. And then you don't get like the built-in like Streamlabs store and stuff like that, which that's fine. We're talking about OBS Studio with the new beta version. Well, it's not a beta. It's they're calling it a release candidate, meaning it's ready to go, but they are beta testing it. So I'm using that and I'm loving it. I'm excited for not having to grab a stream key because I'm lazy. I dig it, and just the fact that they've linked OBS into Twitch and they're adding other services as well. I have my Twitch chats right here, and I didn't even think about this until I had to do a shout out. But having chat available, because in Streamlabs bot you can't do the @ and find someone in chat. I don't know what the limitation is there. Like, it recognizes @ commands, but it won't do the search the way that Twitch chat does. So if I wanted to shout out, say Gamer Dad, because I do, it's super easy. And there it is. So it's this little tiny quality of life thing I really dig. Oh yeah, I added that script to the bot. Mind blow, what just happened? What I did, I went into the chat that's inside OBS Studio, used the @ to search you, which took 2 seconds, and the script that runs off my bot puts a picture up, pulls API, and then there's a sound that I created for that. Mystic says, also, Jim, whenever we do the stream Dying Light or anything, I apologize in advance for any background noise. Apartment is very near busy road, and our neighbors are screaming each other that shares a wall with me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream Dying Light. That game runs like ass. I'm going to say that right up front. I haven't tried it since I took off the SLI. And I certainly haven't tried it since they made these changes in OBS. But to get that thing to where it's even remotely streamable has been... That's why I haven't played it in like 4 years. For some reason, my shitty little PC could run it just fine. When I got this one, whether it was the SLI configuration or whatever, Dying Light has the optimization of a rotten egg. It's just horrible. If I can get it to work, sure. But one of the reasons you haven't seen me play it, one, and this is the biggest part of it, I don't have a ton of interest in it anymore. Second reason is that it runs like shit. Even on Grindzilla, which is weird. But if I can get it to work, I'm down. But like, the thing is, like, every time I get into that world and it starts going jank on me, I'm like, this used to run smooth. What the fuck did they do? Like, what did they do? Tom to the rescue, bringing us back on topic, says, something I'd never talk about in real life, but would it be online? I'd say my sex life, but technically I have had a conversation with gay friends about it before. Well, I guess in general I'm fine talking about it these days online, but I rarely talk about it with people in real life. There you go. Sex life, that's definitely something you see a lot of. Skeletor says, all this talk of OBS and new features and whatnot is getting me more interested in starting to do this Twitch thing. Yes! All right, we're going to shout out Troy. Because goddamn it, y'all got to follow him. You got to follow him. You got to do it. You got to do it. Skeletor Twitch. There you go. Dude, my man knows a thing or two about production value. And the idea of him just hopping on and doing his thing live, that's like, that's awesome. I really hope that he actually does that. Let's keep talking about him like he's not here. Do that. But yeah, the new OBS features, Troy, they definitely make things a bit easier. And it certainly will be less harsh on your system, too. Reefer says, something I talk about online and in real life is my tiny penis. It gets the job done. Also, how'd you get their logo on the shoutouts? It's part of the script. It's part of the script. There's a script for Streamlabs bot called Caster Overlay. Like Caster, let me find it. It is called Caster. It's just Caster Overlay. That's all it is. Caster Overlay. There's a repository in their Discord to get Caster Overlay, and the instructions are a bit murky, but it's relatively simple to use, and it just pulls API. That's it. It's relatively easy. Rooster says, I'm finally grabbing the rest of my shit from my keyboard conversations above. Wait, what? For my keyboard build. Okay, I got those two things combined real quick. Finally grabbing the rest of my shit from my keyboard build. Nice, dude. GamerDad says, also, I have added an honesty answer to the IRL. Okay. Honestly, something I don't talk about much in real life is my Twitch life. A lot of people in my real life don't really view or respect the Twitch concept and make me feel awkward about even talking about my content creation passions. I get that, dude. I get that. I find that a lot of people in my life are supportive, but they don't get it. So they're like, You know, my mom used to always say, well, as long as you're happy, you know, you're clearly happy doing it, and you're getting support, and that's what's important. But I feel like different families are going to be different about it. And I think in the case of Farron's family, I think they're more supportive about it because that's how we fucking met. They're like, well, if they met and they're happy, like, there's no drawback. There must be something going on this thing called Twitch. Plus, you know, my stepson spends a lot of time with the in-laws and stuff, so he's always been into Twitch, and they see it's a positive force for him. So I think that they are almost firsthand getting some stuff. So I can imagine it being difficult. Like when I was doing music for a living, fucking forget it. There was no respect there. Torstein of Fenrir. Am I pronouncing it Torstein of Fenrir? Or is it Torstein of Fenrir? Yes, no, maybe so. Let me know. Hey to you as well. When Brucifer and GamerDad get melded together. Those two lines. That's pretty cool. But I do feel like, you know, your audience is going to be different, right? Like, you look at any game, it gets a little bit deep. Whether it's Hey Orkin, whether it's like The Division, Destiny, Hitman, whatever. If you talk to somebody about it and you're super passionate about that game, but another person hasn't played that game, sometimes you're going to kind of, like, they're not going to gloss over and look at you weird, but you can tell they don't understand what you're talking about. And then you get more passionate and you're like, well, yeah. And I think that, like, when it comes to content creation in general, because it is so public facing, I begin to wonder if we just forget there are some people that just never stop to think about where the donuts come from. You know what I mean? Like, they don't care. Like, they don't care that there's someone who's getting webcams and doing this and checking these stats and all sort of shit. They don't care, you know? Like, until they see it, it's not real for them. And I guess they figure, because, well, you're not on Netflix, therefore... I don't know. I'm just guessing. Weird. Torstein says, you can just call me Tor. Nobody who's not Scandinavian can't pronounce it, so don't worry. Well, I have a Norwegian friend that would probably try to pronounce it for me. I'm like, you tell me how to pronounce that shit. But I'll call you Tor. I mean, my brain wants to call you Torf. Or Torfen. To shorten all three of it. So Torfen. It's about Van Torfen. Torsten of Fenrir. You know, like, you know, it's like, that's not how you say it. It's close enough. Fucking, you know, but Tor it is. It'd be weird for me calling you Tor because I'll start confusing you with encrypted browser, but that's all right. Not your fault. Morgan says, I might cut in and out working. All right, sir. Tom says, I guess something else is that there are certain shows I can't be bothered bringing up that I like and love in real life, but online I'm like, yeah, I love Sailor Moon. So what? I want to watch what fuckers, and, you know, I got you. Watch what I want. He said, call me what you want. I mean, that's a dangerous proposition, Torf. Torf, I like Torf. I really like that. I like that. But because that opens up some shit. If like you make a huge thing of like a Toroof, you know, like I could. Sorry, I'm having too much fun with your name. That's not fair. I'm gonna pull it back. I'm gonna pull it back. Bruce says, I'll go one step above and just call you T. No, because every time you say that, I'm gonna think about Clubber Lang going pain. Doesn't work. Can't just call somebody T. There's one guy named T. And he'll beat you up. You don't want that. You know, you put, you know, sedative in his milk when he goes on a plane and shit. That's what you do. What are you doing, you little shit? I think he's trying to, like, figure out a way to eat through the wall. He's being extra fucky, my kitten. He's being a jerk today. Why do you want to get between the refrigerator and the wall? What will you accomplish by getting in between the fridge and the wall? Stupid little hunter. Bruce says, I'm going to call you Big Jim Daddy Grindhead. I mean, you know, those are all things that I've been called, just not in that order. I've been called Big Jim, Big Jimbo. Been called Daddy. Been called Grindhead Jim. You know. It's all been there. It's all a thing. Fine. Fine. What are you doing, little guy? You want to say hi to everybody? Fuck no. You always put me in front of lights. Motherfucker. God damn it. Ugh. Cats, man. Cats. Been there, done that. Exactly. I've been there, done that. I could probably turn the chroma down. This is bothering me. The little guys here, that bothers the shit out of me. I want to see if that's working. If I can potentially turn that down. Let's see. Probably around 450. Yeah, it's a little better. But then there's a shadow. That's mostly gone, and then close enough. You can't see what I see. I'm super particular about the chroma. But this is way better now. I don't have to worry about this thing. Weird. Torstein of Fenrir has followed. Torf. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you. Oh, fucking my vape. My vape juice, though. Okay, random. Hatham's sitting there like, hey, you're gonna do just fine. Listen, I've been streaming for 5 years. It goes up, it goes down. It's fine. I appreciate the pep talk, but it is unneeded. Weird, though. Kind of weird just to walk up and be like, you'll do better. Yeah. Maybe don't do that. And I get it. It's probably like a closet troll idea. Probably. And I gotta be honest, it's not well thought out. Either as a positive thing or a negative thing. It's great to want to spread positive energy, but sometimes that shit is passive aggressive as fuck, which is kind of how that comes off. So maybe don't do that. I go up and down. Hey, yes, safety goggles are a great idea. They're a great idea. That's why it's dragging. My brain's all over the place, guys. As it sometimes is. That's how brains work. Especially when they've been blown out. Kidding. Kidding. Gil says, so PayPal's fast as fuck. I put in an investigation for 2 transactions I didn't make. They already funded me. Yeah, they're pretty good. PayPal's legit, man. PayPal legit. Pretty good. They'll fuck around. I mean, they're almost a bank at this point, and they're used in so many things. Wouldn't take much to topple them, though. You know, so they're very keen on keeping their reputation where it is. You know what I mean? So. Orkin said the wind still blew sawdust in my eyes. That's not fun. Stupid wind. Bill says, also something I talk about online that I don't talk about in real life as much as my relationship. Yeah. I think a lot of people do that because it's relatively safe. You know what I mean? It's a relatively safe place to do that. At least it feels safe to do that, I guess. Maybe that would be a more... I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. But there are sometimes it's easier to type out your... I don't think necessarily it's always a comfort thing, but it's easier to type out your thoughts and make sure everything's there instead of blurting them to somebody and waiting for their reaction in that way. It's just an easier way to express it. Not because the thing is, like, and I'll use you and I as an example. We've been friends for 18 years now, and there are some conversations that would flow easier in text than they would in person. And we've always had that duality to our communication and our friendship. Always, because we used to chat at work. We had a chat program and stuff. And so it's certain things kind of make more sense in text or to broach in text than they would in person. And I think sometimes, especially if it's someone where you do IRL and internet, you spend so much time on the minutia in text that when you're just hanging out with that person, you don't have to do that anymore. Like, you don't have to like sit there and be like, well, like, you're just hanging out. And that's okay. Like, you know, Quentin Tarantino was onto something when he wrote that line for Uma Thurman in Pulp Fiction, when he said that, you know, you found someone special when you can just shut the fuck up and calmly enjoy silence together. And it's like, it's true. It's very true. Very true. So I bring this up today because, like, the human condition is always changing, right? You know, there's all like, well, when I was growing up this, well, you aren't growing up anymore. You're grown up. Things are different now, you know. And you have more opportunities. There are more avenues to communicate. There are more nuances to it. There's different cultural cues, and it's different now. There's shit you could get away with saying out loud. You don't dare say out loud anymore, and there's shit you can't even say on the internet anymore. For better or for worse. Like, there's some jokes that ruin some careers. Fucking Gilbert Gottfried found that out the hard way. People were very sensitive to certain types of communication. You know, like for example, there's the old saying, sarcasm doesn't translate well in text. It's, for many people, it's true. But I think there are 4 lights, Rez. There are. There's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I feel like a lot of times people don't want to be bothered with even attempting to understand the perspective of a person saying something. They just want to be offended, right? And I think that because of that potential reception, there are things we wouldn't say in any
I'm really
place.
chuffed with Repulsion.
Just
you know what I
'cause.
mean? We're chuffed, you know what I mean, as a band.
Like, I'm totally comfortable saying that Rez is hosting right now. Totally comfortable with that. Fucking cool. Thank you, Rez, for the host. Thank you for the host, sir. You guys get what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm laying down? You know? But the thing is, the internet and having the ability to have this other avenue, it's almost like another inner monologue. Because there are thoughts that we only had and kept to ourselves. We didn't have another place we could go to express that stuff. Unless we had a really close friend that could just take whatever we were dishing out, right? And, you know, like Rez is comfortable telling me he's offended. I get it. Be offended. Just say it. But that's just a thing, man. Just a thing, dude. Ugh. God damn it. This chat window's bugging me. Oh yeah. Well, it isn't just about language though. Like the way in which we use it and where we use it is different. Like the way I speak here is different than the way I'll speak when I'm working or when I'm speaking to the kids or to Farron or my family. And then I will have different structures to like my typed communication. You know, depending upon my audience. Like we have this prism. Most people have like a prism that they're like focusing their stuff through. Yeah, society's always evolving or de-evolving, depending on who you talk to. But it's changing, right? Like the status quo, what is widely or not widely considered acceptable or appropriate, like those things always change. And it's interesting. Even 5 years ago, there's shit you would have easily gotten away with on Twitter that ain't gonna happen now. Nope. You know. I find it interesting. But let's go ahead and take this. Let's take this for a spin. Tom says, I'm one of those people where I'm normally fairly quiet in real life until I have something to gush over or rant about, which can be funny in real life because people get kind of overwhelmed. I went from not saying anything to not shutting the fuck up. Well, having known you for, let me think now, 6 going on 7 years, you can't just say things said in orgy out loud just anywhere. I tend to, though. I don't yell it at the grocery store or anything. But if I'm with people that know me, like, I tend to do that sort of thing. But, like, Tom, you kind of do that in text, too, though, where you won't say anything for, like, hours, and all of a sudden, and it'll just go. So it's not too different, but I can understand where, like, in real life, it's probably more exaggerated in both senses, because you can't always read, like, enthusiasm level in text, so it's more of an even thing. You know what I mean? But I can see where in real life it'd be like, oh shit, Tom said something. Holy fuck. Yay for new vape juice. What'd you get? What'd you get? Riz says, I could say that in the game store I was in today. What kind of games were you playing? Tell us. Jill says, I got dark matter, which is dark chocolate and peppermint bark. That sounds pretty good. Actually sounds pretty good. I'm super boring with my vape juice. I get the same thing. I get a mix of what is supposed to taste like tobacco and menthol. Heavy on the menthol. I don't know why I have not ventured into the flavors. Jamie Lee, hi, back at you. Rez says, I also finally got a hard copy of Mankind Divided. I bet it's hard. Tom says, I can remember a specific instance in high school where I was around people I didn't know who were trying to strike up a conversation with me, but it took them finally talking about something I gave a shit about until I said anything. Then they were clearly like, fuck, I wasn't expecting this. Gotta get that fire stoked, right? That's how it happens. And I think that as we continue to move forward as people and as a society, whether we're going to be talking about social cues or exploring acceptance in general and being able to kind of metabolize acceptance. Like if it ever gets to a point where people are more generally accepting of new people and new ideas, I think that there will be less of an emphasis placed on what is private and what isn't. You'll just be able to talk. Whether we're 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, 1,000 years away from that, I'll never know. I won't be around that long. But I hope that we get to that place. I really do. And I look forward to continuing this conversation.